Hi y'all. I want to talk about YouTube's new policies about medical misinformation. They've tightened down this whole thing, and they've expanded it into the ridiculously insane. The policy is purposefully very vague. It concentrates suspiciously on cancer. The highly increased incidents caused by mystery juice, causing mystery deaths. Death certificates are notoriously being falsified because of that. Yep, I'm saying falsified death certificates. You can't say now why this teenager died or a child died unexpectedly, or a very healthy young athlete collapsed and died suspiciously and suddenly. You can't say that. The reasons listed always seem to be what the juice caused, not what precipitated the end result. And a lot of these conditions that they are listing as cause of death popped up mysteriously in the last 2 to 3 years. Now, we've never seen young people dropping like flies like they are now. Climate change? No. Let's get rid of that myth right away. We've never seen children dropping like flies like we have in the last 2 to 3 years. And we all know what happened at that time, don't we? I've been censored and had strikes on channels, been shadow banned for years, and I have only a small channel, though it's long running. Even Dr. Berg, that I used to watch, I don't no longer watch him because of a couple of his stances in his association with Scientology. Even Dr. Berg put out a video. He noticed that his channel, things that were the norm are now not the norm. His huge channel is now being throttled. So it's not just sour grapes, it's not fantasy, it's not excuses. Shadow banning is a real thing, and they do it to, it doesn't matter how big your channel is or how small your channel is, what the subject is. You say something they don't want, they'll slap your wrist. But I've been censored for a long time, and the shadow banning is real. The censorship, also known as persecution, political persecution, is real. I mean, this channel is not even a food and diet channel, okay? It's a self-sufficiency, frugal living channel, homesteading channel. But I have repeatedly talked about ketogenic way of eating and the carnivore way of eating for health, because it's been the greatest thing for me personally. And a lot of other people, even people with some cancers, has put into remission. You can look that up. It's all over this platform at this moment in time. It may not be for long, because I have a feeling they're going to go after people who are espousing healthy ways of eating and talking about their stories and how the conditions that their new way of eating is cured. They're going to be throttled and censored. But the overlords of YouTube don't follow their own rules. They don't. I got a strike once for actually quoting YouTube's God, the WHO. Their rules, YouTube's rules, literally say that you must follow the guidelines of the WHO. You can't say anything that contradicts anything that they say. So I actually quoted the WHO on a certain subject, and it's going to be up here, that subject. And they gave me a strike on that channel. And then when I said, wait a minute, I'm following your rules. You said I could only say what the WHO said, and I quoted the WHO, and you are removing my content for that? What in the world? And I gave them the quote. They denied my appeal because they didn't like what I had to say about what the WHO had to say at the time. So they don't follow their own rules. Let me change my battery. As I was saying, when I appealed the decision saying I quoted the WHO, here's the quote. I don't know if this is the exact quote, but it was from the WHO. and with backing it up by the European Union medical, whatever that thing is called, they denied my appeal. YouTube has yanked channels off the air without any strikes, any warnings. You usually get a warning and they remove your content. The next time you do that, within a certain period, they give you a strike and they remove your content. And if you get a second strike within 90 days, you can't upload for 2 weeks. And if you get a third in the same time frame, they yank the channel. What they have done, they've yanked channels without any of that process that they declare they will go through with you. You can't even argue the points with rational people in their back room because there are none. There are no rational people back there. But, you know, somebody's stalking me on YouTube and doxing me and literally threatening my life, which is supposedly against their rules. You know, we went through there. I've reported things and reported things. Well, they were supposed to say less than useless and get anything actually accomplished with that, so I had to go to the authorities. YouTube is censoring based on their own medical misinformation. You remember recently when I had 5 videos removed in one night that were 2 and 3 years old back at the beginning of all this garbage? And all that stuff that was in those videos has now been proven scientifically. Studies have proven it was true. You know how it goes. They say it's conspiracy theory, but then it becomes true and it's just a plain old conspiracy. They're censoring based on their own misinformation. The government wants us all sick and afraid. That's the point. They want you sick, afraid, and dead if they can get it done. And that's been proven over the last 2 or 3 years more than ever. Don't accept that spirit of fear. God hasn't given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. If you truly believe the things that we've been told, with obvious evidence to the contrary, if you haven't researched and figured out the truth on your own, and didn't just take what they gave you, the little pablum they were spooning down your throat, you need to check that sound mind of yours. You know, as Cora Monroe said to Major Hayward in Last of the Mohicans, I'd rather make the gravest of mistakes than surrender my own judgment. That's what the YouTube overlords, that's what this government wants you to do. Surrender your own judgment to their way of doing things and their way of thinking. They want to replace the good information that we're getting and giving out with their own medical misinformation. So exercise those brain cells. You know, someone was complaining about the new medical policy, medical misinformation policy that extends to everything they just don't like you saying. No rhyme or reason to it. Just if they don't want you saying it, you're out. Somebody said, we're not stupid. We can gather information and make our own decisions about these things. You should understand we're not stupid. Well, see, they do understand that. That's why the censorship. We're on to the truth about a lot of things. They're lying about them still, and they can't have that. They can't have you being an independent thinker. Independent thinking and self-sufficiency is the enemy of government and communism and socialism. All this they're doing is not for our protection. No matter how many times they say it, it's not for our protection. It's for our control. It's all for control. The media has been instructed not to follow certain stories about the Bidens now. And do you think any of them will buck that? You know where they buck that system? On this platform. See, they're trying to crap you out on that too. You can't show the blathering lunatic in the White House in any bad light. You can't show his crackhead son in a bad light. You know, the one that denied his own child. That one. But it's all for control and plain and simple. But you need to refuse to be controlled. Refuse. So hopefully there were some things on the screen you could read for yourself. Those things were censored on this platform. They were labeled medical misinformation when the medical misinformation comes from the YouTube overlords themselves and our government. So use that sound mind of yours if you've got one. If you can't see the problems, like the people saying, how can you impeach Joe Biden? There's no evidence. There's a plethora of evidence. But they don't need to present it to you. Just like when Tucker Carlson has, maybe he's seen the light, but he was absolutely horrendous to Sidney Powell during the Trump, the investigations and the trials and all that kind of stuff about the last election. He was horrible. He demanded that she tell him her evidence. And she said, I haven't even taken this to trial. I can't tell you my evidence. But he was nasty as he could be to her. Very nasty. And so I have a problem with that with Tucker Carlson. Has he just seen the tide turning and he's decided to jump ship and go the other side? Because you know he hates President Trump. We all have some problems with President Trump. But they're not the problems that are going to keep him from doing the job as it's supposed to be done. He's already doing the job of a sitting president, going all over telling people what's really happening. It's not the job of the president to hide everything, just so you don't have your information and you can be controlled. But that's what's going on right now. So use that sound mind of yours. And I guess that somebody's still following me around like a lovesick poodle. Got a thing for older women, you know. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. It's got a thing for older women and act like a lovesick puppy dog. You think I don't see? I see. Do you think I care? I don't care. Anyway, yeah, they can't shut you up. Don't let them shut you up. They're not shutting me up. No, I'm not going to Rumble. I have my own reasons for not going over there. I've been there. For people who don't, he keeps saying Rumble, Rumble, Rumble. No. Do you know Rumble censors too? Patreon censors. I know someone who's kicked off Patreon for having ultra-conservative views and talking about the LGBT, LMNOP, whatever the hell alphabet letters they want to throw in the soup. She got kicked off Patreon. I thought that was supposed to be non-censoring. No, it's not. There's censorship everywhere. There's more here. Yeah, there is more here. But this is where the people are that need to hear the message. And they may get mad, they may stalk, they may threaten, but in the end, they still heard it and they can't unhear it. And as long as there's life, there's hope somebody can change their mind about something. Catch y'all later. Bye.